is not there. In fact, as time goes more and more on, there seems to be an attrition of natural creative talent. I guess it is.
A whole minute of bliss, is that really so little for the whole of a man's life? Or is it too much? Maybe that's the real curse. Knowing it exists at all. Bliss, we keep chasing it, like junkies looking for the next hit. We claw at it in bars, in books, in warm bodies we mistake for love, and in bottles we pretend to hold answers. But what is bliss, really? A feeling, a flash of something divine, or just another illusion we sell ourselves to survive? For a very long time, I thought of bliss in a very hedonistic manner. I thought of it just like pleasure dressed up in nicer clothes. I chased it in drunken nights, in hungover mornings. I tried to find it in strangers' beds and familiar lies. I thought of bliss as being happy all the time. Some idiots dream of eternal sunshine. And yeah, sometimes I still fall for it. But here's the truth: you cannot catch bliss, you can't hold it, you can't drown yourself in the whiskey and expect it to swim on the surface. All you end up doing is sinking. You hit the bottom, and the worst part, you get used to it. The void starts to feel like home, and one day you wake up and realize you're not even looking for the exit anymore. Some people have brains that just won't shut up. They're wired differently, always searching for a meaning in a world that laughs in their faces. It sounds simple, but it's not. People like that need to create. They have to create. It's survival for them. Creation is just as basic as taking a shit. And maybe that sounds crude, but when you think about it, what happens when you can't take a shit? You rot from the inside. Same thing happens with creating. If you can't get it out on paper, you die. Not all at once though. It's slower. It's quiet, and it's a very painful death. Some people like to think of it as childbirth, the whole process of suffering for something beautiful. But that's too dramatic for me. I think it's more like surgery without anesthesia. You cut yourself open, dig around for what's killing you, and hope you don't bleed out before you can stitch yourself back together. Bliss doesn't come from the final product. It doesn't come from applause or praise. It comes in those moments when the pain makes sense, when the suffering feels justified. And the fucked up part about it is, it don't last. The high doesn't last. That's another side of it, the come down, the crash after the creative high. It's short, but it's strong enough to make you spend the rest of your life chasing it. You bleed yourself dry for just one more taste of it, and half the time you don't even know why. So maybe bliss isn't something you find. Maybe it's something that finds you. When you're knee deep in the mess of trying to make sense of your own existence, it shows up unannounced, stays just as long enough to make you believe that it's real, and then disappears before you can even hold on to it. And maybe that's the point. Maybe bliss was never meant to stay. So yeah, pick your poison. Chase the high or drown in the void.